Attention all hands, this is your captain speaking. Captain Foley back with you guys. What I want to talk to you today about is J.J. Abrams' Star Trek. Now, a lot of you guys who are Star Trek fans know that it sucks, and there's a lot of reasons for that. Me and my brother have a lot of issues with it, especially my brother. And when I asked him if he wanted to do a video about it, he said it's been done to death, nobody's going to want to watch it. But he did make up this for me, which was made up way before I started my YouTube channel. Trekking with JJ. The truth about J.J. Abrams' 2009 film Star Trek. The definitive edition by Stephen Foley. That's my brother. I'm going to read this to you because I think it's worth getting off my chest, and I want to hear your comments and thoughts about it. I really must applaud the effort to bring a fresh look to Star Trek. The actors did a great job in portraying the familiar characters, with only one exception, being Scotty. That one just wasn't pulled off at all. However, the attempt was fraught with inaccuracies and errata, not to mention a very lame plot. I said not to mention the lame plot. That's my brother's humor for you. Okay, well, since you brought it up, a single star going nova is not a threat to the entire galaxy, even if it were Romulus' son. I suppose there would be political ramifications to a major power losing their home system, but if it were their son, don't you think they would have been evacuated? Planned for relocation? Something like a nova doesn't suddenly occur, it happens over a long build-up. And then, if it was going to blow up, why would they sit around and wait, hoping that some amazing, single tiny drop of wonder bomb, built by Vulcans, would save them by imploding the star into a black hole? The homeworld cannot survive in orbit around a black hole either. Lame. Before we get into the errata, maybe there is the way JJ's Trek could fit into the real Star Trek timeline. Let's examine something already established. There is already talk of our universe being prime. And there is a mirror of it, right? Okay, well, in a three-dimensional reality like ours, why would there only be two universes, butting up against each other like the surface of a mirror? I would think that rather our universe is like a bubble, with other bubbles or universes clinging to the prime bubble on all sides, like a cluster of grapes. What we call the mirror universe is simply the first other universe we encountered in the Star Trek realm. Really, I think we have seen other duplicate universes in our journey through Star Trek series and movies. Take, for instance, that there has never been a reference to anything written based on the original about an Enterprise between the Declaration-class Starliner and the Constitution-class heavy cruiser. Even on the wall mural in the rec room of the Star Trek The Motion Picture, there isn't one, as there's not one listed there in my History of the Enterprise poster, which you cannot see. There we go. Starliner, then Enterprise. So, I submit to you that in the movie Star Trek First Contact, the Borg actually transversed into another universe, and the Enterprise E followed them there. Their early spacefaring humans then experienced the Borg. They went into space fearing conflict with other beings in that universe. They went into space with a different purpose, and a ship called the NX-01. Enterprise in that universe. Vulcans are more warlike. They had been at war with Andoria for a long time. Still spied on Andoria, and lied about it. Sounds darker to me. Definitely not our universe. Maybe the beginnings of the Terran Empire from what we call the Mirror Universe. They, in turn, had a run-in with an even darker version of themselves in what was believed was the Mirror Universe when we watched an episode In a Mirror Darkly. And so we can continue to debate that. I just need to switch hands. I apologize. Another example of a universe that was encountered in Star Trek, but not the Mirror Universe, is the animated episode The Counterclock Incident. So, there are more than one duplicate, or mirrored, or alternate, or reverse, or antimatter. That is another example from the alternative factor, universes that exist. But back to JJ. There has never been any mention before of black holes being temporal gateways. Never, but it has been established that black holes can be, if the conditions are right, gateways to other dimensions and other universes. Now we are getting somewhere. Nero's ship and Spock's prime ship did... Sorry guys. not travel temporally back in time within our prime universe. Instead, they cross into another universe, but it looks like this universe is very small. Laws of physics cannot change, but perhaps if this alternate universe is very small, like a small bubble stuck to or wedged in between a bunch of bubbles that surround our universe, then maybe interstellar distances are not so great. And transporters can have an increased range. Maybe other planets are closer. Maybe a single nova could be a threat. Okay, now I'm starting to laugh, but maybe there could be that could be part of the explanation. In short, JJ's Trek doesn't create a different timeline, but it happens in a different universe, a smaller universe. Now let's look at the inaccuracies and errors. The Enterprise Arrowhead was not adopted by Starfleet until after the Enterprise returned from its second 5-year mission. If the Kelvin was too far out for help, where would the short-range shuttles escape to? Since when was San Francisco Shipyards in Iowa? Now, if the universe is smaller, then the Earth must be smaller, so I guess maybe a shipyard on the outskirts of San Francisco could be seen in the easily commutable from Iowa. Klingons don't have warbirds. They have battle cruisers. Romulans have warbirds. That is not warp speed. That is hyperspace. Stupid. And what is with the stupid parking brake? No such thing on a starship. If docked, it would be held in place with docking clamps. Or, if in station-keeping orbit or holding position, it would use minute flares of the maneuvering thrusters to maintain location. Inertial dampeners prevent the people from flying around inside the ship while the ship is moving. What the hell is an external inertial dampener do? Dumb. Sensors work during warp, therefore you can't pop out of warp into a debris field or a surprise battle. Now sensors would be down during hyperspace. That is not a view screen, it's just a big friggin' window with a lot of glare from the bright white bridge. That window is also 2 or 3 decks below where the bridge should be. What idiot carries all the charges? For referring to the red shirt that got destroyed. Why does one crouch to beam into an open area? Centurion slugs? Don't you mean SETI eels? Come on. If you're going to use devices from other well-established stories, get it right. So if McCoy recruits at the same time as Kirk, and it takes 4 years to become an officer, and Kirk says he'll do it in 3 years, why does McCoy seem to graduate with Kirk, be in line for a ship assignment with Kirk, and suddenly is wearing commander, or at least lieutenant commander, stripes on his sleeve when seen on the bridge later? Our destinies have changed. Our lives, what they would have been, will never be. Really? Who says that in daily life? Oh look, the road is closed. There's a detour around it. My life, what it would have been, will never be the same now. Right. Delta Vega is a hot desert planet near the edge of the galaxy. Not an ice world, not near Vulcan, not between Vulcan and Earth. See the episode where no man has gone before. Even in a small universe, I doubt you could see Vulcan from the surface of a hot desert-like planet like Delta Vega. And Gundarks do not live on Delta Vega, they are from Star Wars. What is with the stupid brewery in the engine room? Pipes supplying water to the crew and water reclamation systems would not be that big. Does she run on steam? That's one of my big issues. Titan is very far from the rings of Saturn. Oh yeah, the universe is smaller. Okay then. Can't beam from Saturn to Earth. Oh right, the small universe explanation again. Note that even in Star Trek Online, you still have to move closer to the Earth space docks to beam over to it. And Saturn is not between your ship and space dock. Those phasers shoot like Star Wars blasters. As well established in the TOS episode Balance of Terror, there has been no visual contact with Romulans at all. The first Romulan war fought without visual ship-to-ship, and the treaty was negotiated via subspace. So how does Spock know that Vulcans and Romulans share roots and culture? There's more proof of this. There's more proof that this is an alternate universe. There are differences in their past as compared to ours. So they did go to warp, hyperspace, and left Earth orbit in the final battle. But in a dimension with such small astronomical distances for such a short warp hyperspace jump, and to detonate such a large ball of red matter, the size of the resultant black hole would be so immense that the galaxy would be destroyed. I think, especially if the Mir Nova could be deemed enough to destroy our universe. Now, really, just how many warp cores does a steam-powered starship need? Then at the end of the movie, they seem to have upgraded the steam to dilithium. Nice, but do they know that dilithium merely enhances the matter-antimatter reaction? Or are they telling us that they are powering the ship with dilithium? Here's the thing, my final comment. I suppose that some people might go to a movie and allow their mental faculties to be suspended and just be at the whim of someone else's imagination. However, that is not the case for everyone. To quote Colonel Mitchell from Season 10 of Stargate SG-1 in the episode called 200, "Never underestimate your audience. They are generally sensitive, intelligent people who respond positively to quality entertainment. If you haven't got into Stargate SG-1 yet, I highly recommend it. For a good laugh, at least watch the episode I just mentioned. I'm sure you can find it on Netflix or YouTube. It is a good one." The opinions expressed within this volume are solely those of the author. Or are they? I want your comments on this, guys. This is my brother's little definitive guide to JJ's 2009 Star Trek. He hasn't done one for the new one. But again, it goes into the distances between Earth and Kronos, transporting. The list goes on and on and on. Thought you guys liked to hear it. Like to hear your thoughts. See you guys later. Have a good day.